That was Sam and Terry, and 5 others. Kind of had various injuries, not long term, but so we're going to hold them out and reassess them into next week. That's Marcus, Noah Brown, Jordan McGee, Brandon Coleman, and Javante. So just want to give you those updates. I said I'd give that to you the other day. And having a joint practice and a game is good for us, for Adam and myself, for a lot of reasons. The first one is evaluations. There'll be some that'll play a lot in the practice and none in the game. There'll be another crew of players that'll play some at practice and some in the game, and then there'll be another group of players that'll play limited here today and a lot in the game. So the goal over those 2 sessions, how many evaluations can you get, as opposed to one that gets a bunch here and a bunch in the game? Can we spread some of those out so by the time we get into the weekend, man, we got a lot of tape to look at and a lot of guys to put in this spot. So I want to give you the big picture stuff on some guys that were out. I'll give you a better assessment when we get back home where they're at. There's nothing long-term injury-wise for them. And then kind of give you our philosophy of the joint practice leading into the game. So all that said, let's get rocking with you guys.
With Marcus, I guess what's your level of concern there? Is it related to what he dealt with last year?
The concern level's low. I'm anticipating coming into next week to see where he's at. I think we're, 7 to 10 days, something to that spotty. So the concern level's low.
Noah's been in and out. What have you been able to see from him, and what are your expectations over the next couple of
You know what we did, John, like with Noah coming back, over the summer from the knee, just making sure like we don't miss one step. So we almost reset it just to make sure like he's not missing one part of it. And he's chomping at the bit to go. Again, I see a little bit like Marcus. In this instance, early August, we're trying to like really extend this ramp up, like the strength, the movements. As a wide receiver, some of the biggest things is like your deceleration, your ability to go stop. That sometimes can put the most stress onto things. And so we'll work hard at that just to make sure there's like pain-free in every way we do that. So he's close for sure.
And then you said some guys wouldn't play in the games. I'm assuming there would be starters. So for someone like Jaden, what are you hoping to see here? And then how has it changed for your philosophy with him last year compared to this year, because he's got the year, in terms of how much you want to see him?
Yeah, for he and a lot of other guys, it's a lot different. However, we'll kind of get to the game, like get through the practice and go to that. He'll play a lot today, though. And I think that's important. It's different looks, different system, different calls. So it's an important step, and it's a good one for him. So we're excited for he and for a couple of the guys. Hey, man, like new looks, different things. When you're going against the same kind of looks all the time, even though there's different installs, there's still a real advantage. That's why we're pumped to be up here with the guys.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Nikki.
What is Marcus dealing with?
Like just a lower leg strain, but he's going to be, hopefully as we assess into next week, in good shape. This was really one to say, man, let's make sure we're not like dealing with it back and forth. So it's more of a place to let's get him all the way back.
Just as far as what you want to see out of starters, returning veterans. I mean, just in preseason in general, how much do you anticipate them playing, and are you taking any different approach from previous years?
Yeah, I think you want to customize it no matter what. And who needs what, where it's at. There's a lot of guys that I'm excited to see both today and into the game. Certainly the rookies, their first preseason game is always a cool one. They've been looking forward to playing in the NFL. This is, their chance to go do that. I'll remind them, like you have been playing against like other really good NFL players the whole time. But it is customized by how much reps you get here. But there's guys I want to feature and the guys I want to see. I want to see, linebackers tackle. I want to see, people guard one another. Like, so there's definitely things that I want to see.
The guys that are fighting for a job and be on your roster these 3 days here, how do you counsel them? This is their dream in their lives. How do you tell them to yourself that you got to perform?
Yeah, expect the expected, knowing like, hey, these are the things you can control. So sometimes you can see when a guy's ramping up for something that's really important, they can tighten up or, feel some kind of way. I've got to do extra, and sometimes over trying can be the worst thing. And so, man, like stay in that pocket of the training you've been doing and then, let it rip here. That way you don't feel that tightness to go and I have to do this or I have to do that, man. You got to be yourself, fully turned up, and like that'll be plenty. So that's the message that we share. But, man, stay right in that pocket of the things that we've seen.
Do you weigh these practices more than what you've done
so far through training camp?
We don't talk about in terms of like weighted or not, but it is another evaluation and against different guys. So they all count, and especially the padded practices for certain positions, they just have more value, I would say. So those are probably the ones that are weighted.
Yeah, for some of the rookies, how do you balance kind of getting them acclimated to the NFL without kind of overexposing them? And when you get to kind of the joint practices / games, are you looking for kind of one particular thing? And hey, I see that. Okay, I can get this guy out.
More so in 2 sessions, how many reps would be like a good number? Say, can we push them into this threshold for today, and then another one for the game for Friday? So you don't want to go like crazy on today, and then you put somebody at risk. So for the rookies, they won't take all the ones today for the guys that are playing, in different amounts. So we try to just customize it. We went through the roster person by person. Hey, man, I'm hoping to get this guy about 20-some today, and then we'll go 25 in the game. This guy, maybe 10 here, over 30 in the game. So you just try to balance it out best you can. Good news is today, as we're getting here and getting started, speaking with their coaches and staff, like we got a good practice and we're ready to really get it on.
Dan,
I'll go all 3 of you guys right here.
Thank you. How are you seeing the relationship with Debo and Coach Kingsbury develop?
He's a fun guy to coach, Debo is. I knew the player, but you didn't know, who the man was. And so, great work ethic, easy to coach. And so for him and Cliff, he's also pretty easy to find those plays that makes him so unique. You've seen some of them, and there'll be some things that people haven't seen, of how we'll feature him. So that relationship's growing strong.
What have you seen from Dietrich and John Jones so far?
Yeah, I think it started for me like a really high level of professionalism. Like these are 2 guys that really bring a good standard to our team. There's a number of players on our team that have those kind of standards, like Jonathan and Dietrich. I think of players like Nick Ballore or Jeremy Reeves, and I could go on and on about players, but you'd be surprised when all these players have these really high standards and they're around one another, things just start to lift. They're able to affect some of the younger players who are learning their way. So they've been excellent for us. They're not brought here to coach, they're brought here to play, and we need them, but they do have really high standards about how they do things and how they do business. I'd spoken to them like it'll feel weird today. Most of us have been on another team or been back to that spot, so expect it to feel weird and then go do your thing. So they both did excellent work during their time here, and I brought that up even with some of our coaches, who did great work here. Izzo and Wes, and same thing, with Adam. Like all those guys put significant time into here and did great work. And Jonathan and Dietrich, are right in that conversation as well. I'll get you, Ben. Go ahead. Quick.
More about their presence in the locker room as a leader a little bit. What was it about their play specifically with Dietrich and John Jones that stood out to you during this offseason?
The speed with Jonathan, it's so evident. Although he's a veteran man, like the guy can absolutely fly. So sometimes you see a change in that. And so for him, the speed of staying attached, playing man-to-man, that was a big deal. For Dietrich, it was really at the padded times you want to say, this is a strong man. And so could we ask him to do those things, play really square and do that? So we've been super pumped with both of them. Go ahead, Ben, quick.
With the running backs, knowing that this is still somewhat limited to what you can see out of them, how do you kind of plan to rotate these guys in today versus Friday?
Yeah, both. We'll try to do some and some as often as we can. All right, thanks, everybody. Get after it.